Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle. According to our previous video about us coming back to the USA after 13 years, we were pleasantly surprised to see that 8 out of 10 of our viewers still regard America with fondness. We also want to say thank you so much for the warm welcome. It was so sweet and kind, and we appreciate that. It appears that most people realize there is no place better than home. They get it. They understand that moving abroad is not the answer that they're looking for. We're taking a walking trail. They have difficult, extreme, and easy in here, and we're doing the easy one right now just to get a feel for it. Leaving your negatives behind in one country just to gain more negatives in a new country is not the way to fix the problems in your own country. We have to take control over our own lives and stop relying on things that are outside of our control to take care of us. As far as going abroad, some Americans are happy just taking mini vacations abroad, or going to the park or beach for the day in their hometown, or going on a camping trip over the weekend and then going back home to be in their familiar surroundings and comforts of home. Because, well, you are giving up favorite comforts when you move abroad, whether it's your favorite reclining chair, favorite foods, or even a comfy blanket. When you go abroad, your favorite things and comforts will be gone. We knew a lady who left Cuenca, Ecuador, and went to Mexico because she couldn't get her favorite apple pie filling. This is a real thing. When we first moved to Cuenca, I really missed hearing the sounds of crickets chirping in the evenings and the birds singing in the morning. I would often say to Frank how strange it was to not be able to hear the insects and birds outside our windows. All we heard was traffic noise. Now that we're back in the States, I hear both the birds and the crickets again, and the traffic. The big picture being, we have the power to do what we want and live the way we want as long as we're not harming our fellow man. Why do we live in the city and then complain about the conditions? We can do something about our situation. No one is stopping us from leaving the city and getting away from the rat race or whatever you want to call it. We have to take care of our emotional well-being just as much as our physical well-being. And this brings me to our first commenter that said that the USA is a banana republic now. Now, this is one of those sayings that get overused and isn't really attached to the facts. Banana republic is a cliche which actually means poor, weak country that exports and relies on one fruit crop, usually bananas, and where the leaders are usually corrupt. Now, we all know where the countries are that are the real banana republics, right? Now, of course, anyone can call America whatever they want. They can call it a third world country. They can call it a banana republic. But it doesn't make it a fact, at least not in the true sense of the phrase of what a banana republic is. Incredibly, America is still standing even though she has been greatly abused over the years, and that's because America happened to be a superpower to begin with, and is why she has withstood the constant assaults inflicted upon her in recent decades. Now, if America had been a developing country, lacking in precious resources and commodities, it would surely have already fallen, as many developing nations already have or are doing and are right now on the precipice. Even if the dollar collapsed tomorrow, America would still stand because individual states with good leaders in power are preparing for the crash to happen any day now. And we believe there are enough people that are also financially prepared for a coming collapse of the dollar. We hope you have diversified your finances and fortified your household too.
Talking about how to retire with $200,000. Most people in this space don't think about retiring on $200,000. And if they do, then they think it's some sort of extreme minimalism, a guy that lives in a house with no furniture, or maybe even a tiny house, or something kind of extreme like that, which isn't what we're talking about. This picture is born out of our own experiences. Ideally, somebody would at a minimum have $200,000, but it doesn't mean that we even had that. Because we didn't even have that, and yet we still did it. So we're going to just use the $200,000 as a figure for people to be able to conceptualize, okay? And so what we're talking about here is, for example, taking 1/4 of it, of the 200K, would be as expenses. You have like 6 months worth of expenses, you have emergency money. I mean, we can talk about ways to minimize and mitigate how to fear losing income sources. And then this is something we did. It's part of the complete picture of how we did things throughout our lives without fear. And that, fear is real. People are afraid of losing their job because guess what? It's the only source of income they've got. So if they lose it, it's all gone, okay? To take another quarter would be to buy a fixer-upper. It is something that we did, and it is something that when you look at the complete picture of this idea is that number one, you remove the need to have to pay rent. Number two, you remove the need to have huge mortgages because you're going to pay cash for a fixer-upper without any mortgage. And number three, it's an additional form of a buffer where you aren't trying to be Mr. Real Estate Man like a lot of these channels talk about. Nothing wrong with business and real estate. I'm just saying that we're getting into this space from a different angle. And we're saying, look, we've lived our lives in the present moment, and this is one way to do it. So I'm not telling you that it's the only way, but that this one way that we did it, and we were able to achieve a work-life balance and happiness and enjoyment of every single day of your life. So this fixer idea isn't that you're going to be spending, all your time fixing the house because you're going to hurry up and flip it in 3 months. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about putting that buffer in your real estate area of your life where you're not subject to rent, you're not subject to huge mortgages, and at some point later, whenever it's convenient for you, you can sell it. You don't have to sell it, you can stay in it, or you can sell it 5 years down the road. If there's a bear market, you can wait. It's not about having any kind of pressure. On the contrary, it's about removing pressures. Take another quarter.
Is Bitcoin something you should be investing in? Well, I'll tell you, I think so. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to that.
To take another quarter. And so there you are with the $200,000, okay? And so what have you done? Well, you removed one of the biggest expenses in life, which is real estate, number one. This is a picture that you have building blocks that you put together. It's not just the 200K. It's the 200K plus being savvy about your expenses, being smart about putting the whole puzzle together, making it work so that you can literally, with $200,000, remove the fear out of your life, add back the time that you want, the balanced life that you want, the time for friends, for family, for hobbies. Have it all, in other words. Take care of your health and not put this aside for 20 to 30 years.
Declarations of independence and constitutions aren't what keep countries from falling. It's the people, and that is us. Our unalienable rights are from God, and we have been given the knowledge, for those who accept it, to attain our life, liberty, and happiness through Him, and so that is also where we have put our trust, not in man, humanism, politics, institutions, etc. One thing is for sure, most of the people who talk negatively about America are either already living abroad or live in a big city that has been allowed to self-destruct. And if you live in a city that is self-destructing and you see things that are disturbing or things in the political arena that are disturbing to you, there are options such as getting involved with changing it or moving. I mean, we get it. Some states are surely looking like third world areas, but not all of America is falling to the ground yet. There are still some well-meaning people in government and good people in spots all over in America. Sometimes we just have to stop watching the fear-mongering headlines, taking our minds off the negative and doing something productive that gives us joy and peace, such as taking walks in nature, playing with our children or grandchildren, going out to dinner, or working on a hobby, etc., etc. You get the idea. It's for our inner peace and well-being to not entertain negative narratives. We can have a positive outlook based on God's plan. He will make a way where there is no way. We also believe in taking care of our health in all areas, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because they all work together to bring us complete mind and body health. Have you ever lived in a Latin American town or city where there is garbage scattered all over the streets? A lot of rabid-looking, skinny, loose dogs running around everywhere? Poop on the sidewalks? Men peeing on the outside walls of homes in public? Flies hovering over the outdoor vendors, cheese and meat? Pay public grimy restrooms with poopy toilet paper in the garbage, and it smells atrocious and flies are everywhere. Drunk men passed out in the food aisles of the outdoor markets and getting constantly overcharged all the way from buying real estate to buying sweet potatoes because of the color of your skin. Potholes and manholes and cracked up roads so bad that you're constantly swerving to miss them so you won't have to buy new shocks or tires every 3 months. Rivers that are so polluted they say not to eat the fish, but that's where your drinking water comes from and where we have seen people squatting and pooping in that river. By the way, in some areas the water from that river is not filtered. Very easy to get Giardia, E. coli, and or E. histolytica parasites. We've had them all, and it can make some people very ill. If it's starting to sound like a dump, well, you know the saying, if the shoe fits. In Latin America, we leave the comforts of our high-rise apartment with views and big screen TV and realize, uh-oh, I'm living here in this city that has dirty water and garbage all over the place, but at least it's cheaper. Another commenter said, probably shouldn't have watched this. I retired in the Philippines. It's got terrible infrastructure, bad food, noisy, not able to use the Medicare, etc., 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 and the list goes on, but hey, it's cheaper. Let's move on to the last comment that we picked out for discussion in this video. This last one is a more positive one, and we think you'll agree. You folks have always said it's possible to live cheaply in the U.S., and you're 100% correct. Welcome back. We love seeing comments like this where Americans are living very comfortably at home and enjoying everything the benefits of their industrious frugalism has to offer. We got several comments like this one from people who said that they were living pretty well in America. Well, like we said in the last video, many smart Americans are doing just that. We will be returning to our previous smart frugal ways that we're so familiar with we can do it with our eyes closed and hands tied behind our back. It does help to own your own home, and we already covered that previously in this video. Besides buying a livable fixer-upper, you can always find a rent-to-own as well, so where there is a will, there is a way to live well too, even if you're on a smaller Social Security budget. Since we've been here, we've noticed some foods are more expensive than living in Latin America, but not all things are more expensive, and so in the end it all comes out in the wash, meaning our food bill balances out and our food bill isn't any more than in Mexico, and here's why. Some of the foods we use on a regular basis, like extra virgin olive oil, natural peanut butter, extra virgin coconut oil, and dairy products like milk, sour cream, cheese, spices and herbs, raw honey, beans, brown rice, and lentils, cost about the same in the US as they did in Mexico or Ecuador, and definitely cheaper than Panama. Have you shopped in a Panama grocery store lately? Everything is higher in Panama. So when we spend twice as much on tomatoes at, say, 98 cents a pound, or twice as much on potatoes, 5-pound bag for $3.95, it's okay. We have also found out how to buy meat in the USA for the same price as what we were paying in Mexico, and it's buying in bulk. Instead of buying a few pounds of chicken or beef, we buy in bulk. When you buy the 10-pound ground meat and chicken thighs, no added hormones or antibiotics, it's the same price we were paying in Mexico, or pretty close to it. We bring it home and I portion it out for meals and stick it in the freezer. It works great, and we end up going to the store less often, which is also great. So food prices may be higher in the US, but we're not noticing it too much. And if you didn't know, Mexico has also been going through food inflation for several years now. The other day we bought avocados for just 49 cents each right here in America. That's cheap for good-sized avocados. We just bought some organic bananas, and incredibly they were just 70 cents per pound, and they were organic. We got strawberries for the same price as in Mexico, and they are in great shape. I also portioned those out for our kefir smoothies in the morning. So no, we do not have sticker shock like some vloggers are portraying on their videos. But again, maybe they are in a state or city that has much higher food prices. Flexibility is the order of the day. Go where it works and make it work. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video today. Until next video, have a great day. Bye-bye and take care.